In FileMaker, there are three sets of objects that you can choose from: sliding panels or tab panels, buttons or button bars, card windows or regular windows. To display a lot of information without cluttering up the screen, you can use sliding or tab panels. These days, Michael uses sliding panels almost exclusively, but what are the advantages? With tab panels, you are unable to hide a panel, so if you have information on one that you don't want everybody to see, you have to conditionally hide the objects on that panel. This is a lot of work and is somewhat messy. With sliding panels, providing that you are not showing the navigation dots at the bottom of the panel, you can hide any panel by naming it and then having a button go to that specific object. Using a button bar, you can thus hide the button segment that grants access so that only those who are allowed to go there can see the button and get to that panel. The other objects that you can alternate between are regular buttons and button bars. When button bars came out, we were at first singularly unimpressed with them, but then we started to use them and now they are an essential tool, and Michael rarely uses regular buttons. Button bars are not perfect yet in that you cannot specify a fixed width for each button and thus precisely control the size. You can hide specific button segments, but if you do, the button bar remains the same size with the segments getting larger. You can apply conditional formatting to specific button segments, which is very useful. For example, let's say that you have records that need to be completed. The button appears red until such time as the work has been done, and then it changes to green, giving the user a visual clue what they still have to do. In Nautilus FM, we have a button bar in the header area which controls navigation between the different modules. That button is visible to everybody all of the time. On the individual panels, we have another button bar that is specific to that module. Finally, let's talk about card windows, which are what made Nautilus FM possible. Of all the advances that FileMaker has made over the years, card windows are, in my opinion, one of the most significant. There are several reasons for this, with a major one being that they don't have to be contextually related to where the user is. The second reason is that they are stateless in that they have no title bar. This gives them a very neat look. Card windows are used extensively in Nautilus FM so that whenever the user needs to go to a different screen, they do so in a card window. That window has to be closed before they can do anything else. This eliminates any possibility of a user getting lost or confused because they have opened too many windows. This is a surprisingly common problem. Nautilus FM does not allow it. I also like the ability to be able to dim the parent window when a card window is opened. We've now discussed three different design alternatives, and it's up to you to decide which ones to use. There is no right or wrong answer, just as there is never only one way to solve a FileMaker problem. Use what works for you. We do hope, however, that you look at Nautilus FM and consider it as a framework for your ongoing development.